It's okay. Happy Halloween! So for Halloween, I am being Negan from The Walking Dead. I'm literally in my pajama pants, but you know what? Today for this video, I have kind of a creepy story time video to tell you, and I figured that this would be a good first video to make since it's almost Halloween and I don't have any other ideas yet. So, a few weeks ago, me and my friends went to Terrified Forest, which is a haunted forest that's like 45 minutes long that you walk through, and it's really fun. I went with about 10 other people, and we waited in line for like 3 hours. We got there at 10 o'clock, and by the time it was over, we were still there at like 1:30 in the morning. After waiting so long, it was really cold outside, so after waiting so long, one of my friends started to feel a little sick because the cold weather was making her lungs hurt or something like that, and so her and I and our friend stepped out of line to go like get something to eat, like a pretzel or something, I don't know. And we were waiting in line, and so after we got our food, we sat at this picnic table that was kind of like in an unpopulated area away from the line. So it was just me, her, and then our other friend, and then this guy sitting by himself across from us with his back to us. Okay, pause. I'm editing this video and I realized that he wasn't already sitting at the table when we went to go sit down. He actually came and sat by us after we had already been there for a few minutes, so I actually messed that part up. But that actually makes it a little bit more creepy. So anyway, back to the video. So we didn't really think anything of it. We sat down, we started eating, and then I asked my friend, I'm like, do you think that you're going to be able to go through the house because I know you're not feeling well? And she said no. She said she would wait outside by the picnic table by herself. And as soon as she said that, the guy that was sitting across from us kind of like, if his back was facing us, he kind of like angled his face to where he could hear us a little bit better. So I noticed that. I don't know if she noticed, but I noticed that he seemed more alert of the fact that we were talking about leaving her by herself. And I told her, I'm like, this is not a really populated area. Like the city that we were in wasn't that great, I guess. But I did not want to leave her by herself. I live in Michigan, and Michigan is really, I think it's number 2 for sex trafficking, which is really, really scary, and I don't want to get into that. But I did not want to leave her by herself. And so I was talking to her, and she was just really worried about not feeling good going through the haunted house, which I understand because I'm sick all the time, and I didn't want to make her go through if she didn't think she'd be able to. So I offered to stay with her, and I even said to her, I said, well, I think that if you start feeling sick while you're in the forest, that they would let you out if you needed to, because they can't make you stay in there for 45 minutes if you're having problems with your lungs and stuff from being cold. And so this guy turns around that was sitting across from us, he turns around and goes, yeah, they'll let you out. I work here. And I said, okay, see, that's fine. We didn't think that was weird. That's like a normal thing to say. You're helping us out with a problem that we're having by telling us that it's okay to leave the haunted forest. So we were like, okay, that's cool, whatever, we'll do that. And she still was kind of iffy about it. Like, she didn't really want to go through. She felt bad having to leave. I think she felt bad about leaving the words. I don't think she wanted to go through. She didn't want to risk it. But I told her, I'm like, well, if you don't go through, I'll wait out here with you because I'm not leaving you out here by yourself. And so after I offered to stay out by the picnic table with her, this guy turns around and goes, she can sit with me. I work here. What? First of all, you're some random guy that we don't know sitting at a picnic table by yourself, listening in on our conversation, and some people might think that he was just being nice and offering to let her sit with him, but I had a really weird feeling about this guy, and there was no proof that he worked there, like at all. All of the workers there had on like some weird face paint or like a Terrified Forest shirt. He was just in a black hoodie and jeans, so anyway, I said, no, that's okay, I'll wait with her, or she can just come through with us. And this guy like kept insisting on letting her sit at the table with him. By the way, after all this was happening, our friend who was sitting with us ended up going back in line, so it was just me and her sitting there. And so this guy was just like continuously insisting on letting us leave her by herself with him at this picnic table in a really unpopulated area. It was a darker, less lit part of the ground, so we were uncomfortable about it. And while he was saying all of this, I wrote on my phone, actually I think I have the message. I literally wrote in my notepad on my phone and showed her because I didn't want this guy to hear me, but I said, this guy's here by himself, I have a really weird feeling about him, and he keeps like trying to convince us to let you stay with him. Like, that's really weird. And she was like, yeah, I know. And so I told her, I'm like, if you are gonna stay out here, you should at least go in like a more populated area that has like lights and stuff where other people know where you are, because the forest takes about 45 minutes to walk through, and also none of us had any cell service. So I was not about to leave my friend out by herself with some strange man knowing that she's by herself. She wouldn't be able to get a hold of us if anything happened because no one had cell phone service. Cell phones suck, I guess. I don't know. This guy heard me say that, and he, like, again, a red flag already went off in my head the first time he offered this, but again, he said, I work here, it's okay, she can sit with me. And we were like, no, that's not happening. I was nicer about it, but dude, we said no. You keep asking us, what the hell are you trying to what the hell are you trying to do? I don't know. So my friend's cousin, who was in our group, stepped out of line and came to sit by us to see if my friend was okay. And the guy kept offering to let her sit with him, and at one point I actually was getting so creeped out from this guy, I said to my friend, okay, well, our group is getting more towards the front of the line, so maybe we should all just go stand with them and figure out a plan. And so we all agreed to, and as soon as we walked over there, I looked at her cousin and I said, were you getting a weird feeling from that guy? Because I was texting her, telling her that this guy was weird, and she said, oh my gosh, I was texting her too. I had such a weird vibe from this guy. He's totally a creeper. She ended up deciding to go through the forest with us, and had she decided not to, I would have stayed with her. There's no way I would have left her by herself. So she went through the forest with us, and again, it's like 45 minutes long. We finally finish, and we come out of the exit, which is kind of near where the picnic table was. The guy was still sitting there in the exact same position by himself. If I wasn't skeptical about the fact that he didn't work there before, I'm definitely convinced now. Okay, that guy was sitting at the table for a good 45 minutes to an hour while we were in line by himself. And then after we got through the forest, 45 minutes long, he was still sitting there. Like, you would not be sitting down at a table by yourself doing nothing for an hour and a half if you worked there. So I immediately, it clicked in my head. I was like, this guy is weird. He does not work here. He probably wanted to freaking kidnap my friend or something because he was so eager to get her to stay by herself at the picnic table where nobody else was around. What is going on? Anyway, yeah, I know to a lot of people that probably seems like I'm over-exaggerating, but with all of the sex trafficking and creepy things that have been happening near where I live, I was not comfortable with it, and nobody else in my group was either. We were all really creeped out, and I'm just really glad that nothing ended up happening. I hope that he wasn't creepy to anybody else that night, because like I said, he was sitting at that picnic table by himself for an hour and a half just being a weird dude. I don't know. I'm glad nothing happened, even though it very well could have, so please, if you're in a situation like that and you have a weird vibe or anything, just trust your gut and get the hell out of there, because it was creepy. I was uncomfortable. I'm still uncomfortable thinking back on it, and I'm just glad that she ended up going through the house with us. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it. I'm new at this, so I don't really know what I'm doing yet. But that's okay. If you liked my story, give this video a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button, and make sure to subscribe to my vlog channel. And until next time, have a happy Halloween and be safe and have no shame. Thanks for watching.